All right, guys, so it's kind of loud here, but whatever. We just got done training. My hands are a little shaky. I'm here with Shane Stride. White guys getting shot is getting shot is today's kind of not the premise, but we want to talk to Shane about the life-changing experience that he had. So for anybody that doesn't know you, Shane, what how old were you? What happened? Like, what was the whole story there?
Okay, well, I was 19. I was at a friend's house. We were kind of hanging out and stuff. You know, kid up front got in an argument with a guy over a paintball gun.
Okay, so guns were already involved.
Yeah, high power. So yeah, he got in an argument, you know, with a guy out front, and then he came back in the party, didn't tell anybody.
Okay.
All right, so we're all sitting there. It's about 8 of us.
Now, what town is this in?
This is in Maple Shade.
The dangerous high crime rate of Maple Shade. It's in suburban Philadelphia, by the way. Blue collar, you know, people that own lawn services, plumbers, electricians, that kind of thing.
So guy comes back in the house. You know, just, you know, doesn't tell anybody. You know, we're kind of hanging out and stuff. And next thing you know, we got 40 guys with bandanas over their face in the backyard. Like
the Taliban are outside.
Yeah. So they say we're here for the party, and you know, all my friends were all shocked. There's no party. So
it's a get together. It's just 8 of us.
Yeah. Right. So
bunch of white guys having fun.
Yeah. So I look at my friends and you say, you know what they're here for. Let's go. So we all get up. So I'm the first one. We start walking towards them.
So for those of you that don't understand what he means, they're there to get into a fight.
Yeah, pretty much. And so I start walking towards him, and then next thing I know, I just see this guy reach behind his back, and he shoots me, and then he puts it back in his pocket, and they all just scatter. So
when you got shot, what part of your body, like where did you get shot?
Lower abdomen.
So your stomach, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was that feeling like? Not that I ever want to know, but we're kind of curious.
If you could hold a sledgehammer over a hot fire for about 20 minutes and then hit somebody as hard as you can with it.
I don't think I could do either of those things.
That's the feeling.
And so you got shot in your stomach. Now, what happened to you? Like, once you got shot, that feeling, like, did you fall? Were you able to run? Like, what happened?
I stumbled backwards. Kind of stumbled backwards. I looked down. I saw a hole. I was like, oh, man, you know, he hit me with, like, a pellet gun or something.
That wasn't there before.
Yeah. So, and that split second, I looked down, and I looked back up, and then I looked back down, and my khakis were full of blood, and so were all my shoes.
Oh, wow.
So, I went in the house, and meanwhile, all my friends run out front, and they're all fighting.
So you're in the house shot?
Yeah, I'm by myself. So, you know, my one friend stayed in there with me. But I'm sitting at the table, and I'm, like, wondering, should I go to the hospital?
Might be a good idea.
Yeah. And then my one friend's like, I think you got to go. You're bleeding pretty bad. So I walked to my friend's car after all the ruckus was done.
Right.
And I went, and I just sat in his back seat, and I laid in his back seat, and we drove to the hospital.
It was almost like the scene out of whatever kind of movie where you see people laying in the back of cars. So you go to the hospital. What kind of damage had occurred? Like, once you find out, like,
well, I'm laying, you know, I walk in, and then they put me in a bed, and I'm laying there, and by then I can't straighten my abdomen. It's so tight, I can't straighten my legs out.
Okay.
And I'm asking a nurse, I'm like, hey, you know, was it a real bullet? She said, oh yeah, it is a real bullet. And I said, all right, well, what's gonna happen? Oh, it doesn't look good. I'm like, oh, great.
We can laugh about this now.
So that's her exact words too. And I said, oh man. So you know, next thing I know, you know, they're taking me to Cooper. So I get rushed to Cooper.
So we know Cooper is in Camden. My understanding from some of my friends that are police officers in Camden, that the trauma unit in Cooper is world renowned. Like, a lot of people don't die in Camden shootings because of how good
Cooper's a very good
hospital. Yeah. How good the trauma unit
is really good. So yeah, and then that's the last time I remember. You know, they put me under. I was in surgery for 8 hours.
So physically, like inside, like what kind of damage had occurred?
2 feet of intestines had to get taken out.
So you lost a little bit of weight.
Yeah, I'm a little thinner now. Then I had they had to patch my bladder up.
Okay.
I don't know exactly how they do it. They like solder it or together or something.
Maybe it's like a thing you'd put on a bike tire.
Yeah, something like that. Fix a flat. And then part of my colon.
All of these things you can laugh about now once you've survived the shooting.
Yeah, part of my colon, most of my colon they took out.
Okay. Who needs a colon anyway?
Yeah, the bullet's still inside me.
Nice. Now, what kind of caliber was it?
They don't know. They suggested either a 22 or 9mm. Okay. They don't know because they never took it out.
Gotcha.
And it basically went through my abdomen, bounced off my pelvis, and went down.
Okay.
So
now, do you have any kind of like ill effects from all this now? As a how old are you now?
I'm 30.
Okay, so this was 11 years ago.
Yeah. So hurts when I sit down sometimes on hard benches.
But that's about it.
Yeah, I go off through metal detectors.
I have a bullet in me, I swear.
Yeah.
So now you're 19. You know, I kiddingly, but also with some seriousness, refer to you as the toughest man in Maple Shade. Because you have a bit of a reputation as, you'd get in a lot of street fights in Maple Shade and all these other things. Now, how do you think, not from a physical perspective, but more from kind of like how you approach life, how did your life change after you got shot?
The funny thing is, it didn't change it didn't change fast.
Okay.
Like, after it happened, it was more, I went back to my same routine.
Right.
I couldn't, physically lift weights or anything like that.
Because you lost a bunch of weight from...
Yeah, I went in the hospital. I think I was almost 200 pounds when I went in the hospital, and I came out 158.
Okay. How long were you in the hospital?
2 weeks.
2 weeks, okay.
So
yeah, we were talking about the changes. You said it was slow, the changes?
Yeah, like mentally.
Oh, yeah, Monday night, yeah. All right. Gee.
Yeah, so it took me about a year to 2 years to change. After that I met my wife and stuff, and it made me realize like life is a little more precious than
than a party of 40.
Drinking and going out and hanging out with friends.
So you kind of like, so you didn't change right after the shooting, but it set you off down a path of wanting to change your life.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. I know what did change is I started having more like panic attacks and stuff like that. Okay. I had more of a fear of dying.
Okay.
I had that for years.
You were pretty close to death.
Yeah.
Right.
So I had I was always kind of wondering what it was like, and I was so close to it. Now it's but that went on for years, until I got a control of it.
Okay.
It was like a mental thing though.
Right. So you got shot. A couple years later, you meet your wife, and your life changes. So what kind of things would you say you were doing before that you don't do now, and kind of what kind of positive changes have you made in your life since then?
Well, I started jiu-jitsu. Okay. Start Muay Thai, and I was always hanging out with friends, drinking and stuff. Always cared about going out and partying and stuff. And
right.
That stuff isn't important anymore. What's important is just being happy and living your life, doing what you want to do.
Right.
And as far as it's hard to say like how am I different now, because before my life was so different. Before just hanging out, partying, doing whatever.
A lot of typical stuff that 19-year-olds do.
Kind of.
Okay.
But now I'm older, but after that it was, now I'm more scared of death now after that happened that I started eating healthy.
Right.
That's what changed.
Working
out more, doing jiu-jitsu, and now I look at life in
different.
Like a totally different.
You have different set of friends than you did before.
No, I have the same, a lot of the same. Some I don't talk to anymore, but I have a lot of the same friends.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it changed my life more because, of the fear of death rather than,
Do you think you enjoy life more now than you did before?
Absolutely, yeah. Oh yeah.
Look forward to all the good things and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a totally life-changing experience being near death, laying in the back of a back seat, wondering. I didn't even see 21 yet.
When did you start your own business? Did you have your business before you got shot, or after you met your wife?
No, it was after I got shot. It was 2 years after I got shot.
So you get shot. A couple years later, you meet your wife. Or did you know your wife?
A year later.
Okay, and then a little bit after that, you start your own business.
Yeah, I started my own business.
So you kind of have this so there's like two Shanes basically, right?
Yeah.
There's the
it was
pre-shooting, post-shooting kind of guy that.
Maple Shade badass.
Maple Shade, but you're still the Maple Shade badass. You're not smacking people around at the Wawa or Jay's Elbow Room, that kind of thing. A little bit more respect. What I'm kind of pulling from this too is, for you guys out there, man, don't take shit lightly, right? You don't know who's carrying a gun, who's got a knife.
You can get shot. It makes you think twice about who, and that's another thing is when you're, let's say, me and you were out at the bar and some guy's starting a fight. In the back of my head, I'm always thinking, does he have a gun?
Yeah.
Does he have a gun? And another thing I got from it since I started jiu-jitsu is, you think about it, well, you know, if he doesn't have a gun, I could seriously hurt this guy.
Yeah, and is it worth it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I can go to jail for the rest of my life.
I don't.
Like, I don't want to do that.
Right. If you got to protect yourself, it's one thing.
Yeah,
right? You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? You got to defend yourself, or you have to protect your family, or your kids.
But I could just leave the bar.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much. But let me ask you, 19-year-old pre-shooting Shane, what happens if he's at the bar and a
Punch
fight
him
breaks
straight
out?
in the face, probably.
Right. Just jumping right in,
Wouldn't
right?
even think about it twice.
No, getting shot in the belly changes you know, like a lot of things. So
Yeah.
I'd like to thank Shane for being on. We're driving it home. Respect everybody. Don't take it for granted. You don't know who's got a weapon. You don't know who can fight. You know, it's not, a lot of the times it's not worth it. Really, we should just be using this to protect ourselves and our family, not out there being our local town badass. So if you're in the local South Jersey area, use his landscaping business, SES, right? We have a website that we're working on. Yeah, check him out. But I'd like to thank Shane for being on, driving it home. All right, guys, take it easy. All right. Thanks, man. That was awesome.